this. Close look at that boar I just shot a little while ago. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a little minute since we've been on the channel. There's been a few things happening behind the scenes with hunting, living, fishing. Haven't been able to get out, do any hunting, fishing or anything as such for the last few months, just due to work commitments and so on and so forth. It's just general life. However, what we have got coming up, we've got a barra trip coming up. I think we're due to launch or leave for it next week, but keep your eye open for that one. I won't go too much into that today, but just what we are going to do today off the back of that last hunt that Janita and I did, hunting some boars. I did take a couple of pretty handy boars with reasonable pig tusks. So what we're going to do today is I'm just going to run you through. Some of you will know, some of you may not know, on how to measure them on the Douglas score system. Yeah, so, and this applies for pig doggers, rifle shooters, bow hunters, and anyone that just wants to get that Douglas score points measure. So, I mean, a lot of guys out there, you know, they've shot pigs and they go, oh, like we got one the other day, and you know, he had 3 inches out the jaw. Well, this is probably just an extra step. Good for a bit of a yarn in the shed, having a few beers, and you know, and your mates can sort out and talk about how big your pig tusks are, if you will. So. I mean, these guys here, these were back in Cape York. That's just another way of displaying them too, like there's millions of ways to display them. This one here was one of Janita's boars that she shot up in the Cape a couple of years ago. Yeah, I think I'll run you through a measuring here, like he was about 27.5 Douglas points, I think, and that's just another way you can present your trophy. I've got a few other sets here from Cape York trip 2022 to run the tape over. Yeah, and it's a personal thing, and it's always good just to you know, yeah, if you're interested in that sort of thing, it just gives you another something else to play around with your trophies. So we'll get into it. Basically, all you need is old sewing tape. You get them, I don't know, anywhere, wherever you can get them, in the downtown, in the supermarkets or Big W anyway. It's just a sewing tape. So measuring the pig tusks is measured in inches and eighths. So we measure inches plus the eighths, and there's 8/8 to every inch. So what we'll do first, with the Douglas score system, I'm led to believe you measure both sides. You measure the left and the right, and with the Douglas score, the smallest side is what your final point score will be. So, and I think I'm not 100% sure if someone wants to drop a comment in there and help me out, but I think in another organisation, I think it's Trophy Takers. Here in Australia, they I think they measure both sides as such, but the biggest side is there for those guys. I think is their is what they score on for their trophies and that at the end of the year for their annual trophy presentation. So, but if anyone wants to elaborate on that and drop a comment in, by all means. So what we'll do, this boar here was in that last bow hunt. He was the one I shot on the last day, or the second day, last boar. So that's the jaw that his tusks come out of, and that was this one here was the one on the first day. So they've been boiled out, and they can come out quite easily, so that we can measure them. So what we'll do, we'll dive in, and we will measure this fella here. Now, so what I do is, I'm not sure if this is the way. I did have a measuring book under the ABA measurers thing, which I can't find, so that's the Australian Bowhunters Association, how they did it when they measured for final trophy presentations at their annual shoot for the year. So what we'll do, we'll dive in and we'll see how we go. So we'll do the tusk length first, and you start at the very base, as close as you can with that metal bit, and you run it along. Just make sure that stays there. You run along the back edge, trying not to move your tape, like so, and we'll come around, and that there says 7 and 1, 2. He's not quite 7 and 3, so we'll call him 7 and 2/8. So what I do is we'll write that down. So he's 7 and 2/8. Now at the end of it, after we've measured all 4 components of that pig tusk, with those measurements you double them, then add them up, and that's how you get your final score. So we'll go on to the grind length, and the grind here is this mark that's presented, and that comes from, for those of you who don't know, when the jaws are together, and those top ones are the grinders, and that is what makes the grind mark on the actual pig tusk. So we measure that one, which is the same. So we'll start from the base of the grind mark, as close to it as we can. It's a little bit hard with that metal piece on there, but and then we measure right up to the tip. So that is 1 and 1, 2. He's a bit over the half, so we'll call him 1 and 3/8. 1 and 3/8 for the grind length. We'll move on to the girth of the grind, which is directly around where the grind mark finishes. So what I like to do, I don't know if there's, I'm no expert, I'm not a qualified measurer, but I'm pretty sure we put that there to get your most accurate, the metal piece there on the back edge of the pig tusk, and we come around and sit it up against it, and that's sitting right on the 2. So we'll call that 2. That's just an even 2. And then we'll do the girth of the base, which is base of the tusk down here. So you come right, and the same thing again. I just have that metal piece around, so it comes around to the back edge of the pig tusk. Get it around there, like that, and as close to the bottom of the pig tusk as possible. And I've compressed that. That's right in. So it's right around the circumference of the base of that pig tusk. And once again, that's 2. We'll call that an even 2. And you'll find with most pig tusks, if they're not broken, they are very symmetrical. So the other side should be pretty close to being same lengths, thicknesses, and so on and so forth. You will get differences if, for instance, they do bust them off, or the grinder has grown a little different in the top jaw with your grind mark, so they won't be as even. But these guys here, as we can see, they're a fairly even set of tusks. So the other side should be relevantly close to those first scores. So we'll move on to the next side and do the same process again. So we'll just start with the tusk length. Start down the back. A little hard to hold on to sometimes, but we'll get there, get that tape on that back edge like so, without moving him. Oh, like I just did there. You got a bit of oil on them too. The oil out of the, not so much out of the jaw, but I oil them with any sort of vegetable oil, and that just preserves them, stops them from cracking. So we'll come back up along here, and we'll run that down to the tip again. And there he's 7 and 1/8. Okay, so he's 1/8 shorter than the other side, which could have been just a bit of brooming off on whatever, but yeah, so we'll call him 7 and 1/8. Next process again, we'll do his grind mark. Come into the base, You see the base of him there. And we'll call him up, and we'll call him, oh look, he's probably just over the halfway mark there on the 8/8, so we'll call him 2. We'll do the base of his grind. I'm expecting this to be fairly similar to the other side. So once again, bring that tape around right up to the base of that grind mark, and he is, yeah, so he's right on 2 inches around the girth there again. And then we'll do the girth of the base of the tusk, and once again I expect it's going to be pretty much similar, so he's that around, so yeah, you can see there once again he's just over the 2s but not over the halfway mark, so we'll call him a 2. So then what we do in the Douglas score system, in the final starts of the paces of the measurement, we double each measurement. So we've got 7 and 2/8, so that's 14 and 4/8. So now I just write that there, 14 and 4/8. And we've got 1 and 3/8, so that's 2 and 6. Just remembering that there is 8/8 to an inch, so if you get that 8/8, that's just an inch that you add on. So that's 2 and 6/8. 2, which is 4, and 2, which is 4. So then we just add all those up, and then that will give you your Douglas score for that side. So we have we add up the 8s first, so we've got 6 and 4, which is 10/8, so that's 1 and 2/8. So we'll put the 2/8 down here, and we just carry the 1. The other side, mathematical equation, so then we've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 4 is 21, and 4 is 25. So that there is 25 and 2/8 on that side. Now, if we were in a organisation, let's say ABA, the Australian Bowhunters Association, that would be classed as a trophy class measurement on that side, but we won't know whether that's going to be true until we add up the other side. So we'll add up the other side. So he's on this side, he was 7 and 1, so that's 14 and 2. 14 and 2/8, and then these ones is just 4, 4 and 4, so he's 2/8 on that side, and then we just add everything up. So we've got 14 and 4 is 18, 22, 26. So he's 26 and 2/8 on his biggest side. So still, either way you look at it, he is a trophy class boar, which is very respectable. In the hills here where I hunt, you can get they grow a lot bigger. Obviously, a lot of people travel to Cape York in search of these ones. Like this guy here, he was one of Janita's, like I said earlier. Yeah. He was around that 27 and a half. So anyway, I hope that's been helpful for you. Gives you guys, you pig hunters, something else to do with your trophies. And like, there's a million ways, that you can present them. Like obviously this one here, that's just how I decided to present those ones from a Cape York trip quite a few years ago. Or you can do what we've done here. These have just been boiled out. You could square these up and just mount them on a plaque. This one here was shot by my son out in the Macquarie marshes here in the flat country, and that's how we decided to mount his. And then obviously you can mount them like that, boil the full skull out, and have these sitting in your trophy room or wherever it is. Yeah, so anyway guys, that's how I've been learnt to measure pig tusks, and I hope you guys that don't or haven't done it, delve into it, start boiling them out, and like I say, just gives you something else extra to do with your trophies. And I've got a few other sets here, like it's just something that us hunters do. So Like I say, I don't keep every set that I shoot these days, but if, you know, a good respectable set like these two, yeah, I'll certainly run the tape over them just for my own records. Like I say, I'm not affiliated with any corporations or associations or anything like that these days. This is just for my own personal records. So yeah, this guy here, I think I've already measured him. I won't go into that. This guy here that was on the back end of that video, he was around about the same size. I think both of them around about that 25 and 2/8 or 25 and 1/8. So he was a trophy class animal too in the scheme of things. So, but anyway, guys, we will endeavour to get into some hunting again shortly. But our next adventure, like I think I mentioned before, is a barra trip up to Wonga. So we'll be up there for a few days next week, or at the end of next week, chasing them. So we will get back into a bit of bow hunting throughout the warmer months if we can. And for those that have asked, I have had a few questions on our gear setup, our bows and arrows and stuff. I will get into doing a video on those here soon. But until then, guys, what we're going to do is leave you with it, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.